In a quiet little village, an 82-year-old grandma had a beautiful morning ritual. Every single day, without fail, she would sit on her porch and feed her beloved cat, Millie. Their bond was a silent, unbreakable thread woven into the fabric of their daily lives. Millie wasn't just a pet, she was family. But one morning, the porch was empty. Grandma had passed away peacefully in her sleep. The family, heartbroken, laid her to rest in the backyard, beneath the shade of her favorite mango tree, a place she had always loved. As the days turned into a blur of grief for the family, for Millie, time seemed to stop. She refused to eat, refused to drink. Her world had shrunk to the small patch of earth under the mango tree. She would just sit there, a silent, furry sentinel guarding her best friend's final resting place. The first day, villagers heard her soft, mournful cries echoing from the yard. By the third day, the heavens opened up, drenching the village in a cold, unforgiving rain. But Millie didn't move. She just sat there, soaked to the bone, her little body trembling, her eyes fixed on the grave. On the fifth day, some well-meaning neighbors tried to gently coax her away, hoping to bring her indoors. But Millie would have none of it. She hissed and scratched, her loyalty fierce and unyielding, before immediately returning to her post. By the seventh day, Millie was a shadow of her former self. She was weak, her breathing shallow, her energy all but gone. Still, she remained. It was as if she was waiting for something, holding on by the thinnest of threads. That very night, as darkness blanketed the village, another heart-wrenching sound pierced the silence. It was the sound of a little girl, crying, lost and terrified. She was only 6 years old, and had wandered away from her home. Hearing the cries, something stirred within Millie. It was a flicker of the life that had been fading. With a strength she shouldn't have possessed, she slowly, painfully, got to her paws. She wasn't just a grieving cat anymore. She was a protector. Millie navigated the dark, unfamiliar streets, her instincts guiding her through the shadows. Soon, she found the source of the cries. The little girl was huddled by a fence, shivering and alone. Millie walked up to her and gently rubbed against her leg, a small, comforting gesture in the vast, scary darkness. Then she turned and started walking, looking back as if to say, "Follow me." The little girl, filled with a mix of fear and a spark of hope, got up and followed the determined little cat. Millie, with purpose in every step, led her not to a random house, but straight to the one with the mango tree in the backyard, her home, Grandma's home. As they reached the front door, it swung open. A man stood there, his face etched with worry. He was Grandma's son, a man who had left the village years ago and had just returned for his mother's funeral. He saw the little girl, and his world stopped. It was his daughter. He rushed forward, scooping her into his arms, tears of relief streaming down his face. Then he looked down and saw the frail cat at his feet. In that moment, everything clicked. He looked from his daughter to Millie and whispered, "You, Tata, you brought my daughter home." A memory flooded his mind. His mother's voice, warm and full of certainty, saying, "Millie will always protect this family. She's our little guardian." He knelt, his eyes filling with a new kind of tears of gratitude. He gently stroked Millie's fur, his voice thick with emotion. "Thank you," he said, hugging the small, heroic cat. "Thank you for keeping your promise. Millie, her final duty fulfilled, looked towards the mango tree one last time. A long, knowing glance at her grandma's grave, and then, safe in the arms of the family she had saved, she closed her eyes and peacefully drifted away. She had waited 7 days to say goodbye to the woman who loved her, and one more day to save a life. They buried Millie right beside her grandma under the shade of the mango tree, reuniting the two best friends for eternity. Now, every day, the little girl visits the backyard, placing fresh flowers on both graves, because some angels don't have wings, they have whiskers. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe and tag someone who needs to see this.